Good morning, children. Today we are going to start with multiplication of decimals. In this, first we are going to learn how to multiply a decimal number by a whole number. Okay, forget the decimal point that we have. Without the decimal point, you will write the number 563. I have not given the decimal point into 8, and then simple multiplication you will do. This is the product that we have found out. Okay, 4504 is the product. Then what we do is we count the number of decimal places over here. How many decimal places are there? There are two decimal places. Okay, so in the product you will also keep two decimal place and insert a decimal point. I have kept two decimal places. From the end we keep, isn't it? Decimal places is after the decimal point. So two decimal places are left over here and then a decimal point is inserted. Right? So 5.63 into 8 is 45.04. Now another example with this is 4300.05 into 341. What we do first? Without the decimal point, we will write the number and then do simple multiplication. After multiplying, we found out as 146631,705. Right? Then what you will do is count the number of decimal places. How many decimal places in the multiplicand? There are two decimal places in the multiplicand. Okay, so you will leave two decimal places in the product and insert a decimal point. Then your answer is 146631,705. Clear? The second one is how to multiply a decimal by 10, 100 and 1000. First we will learn how to multiply a decimal number by 10. See, I have taken a decimal number 2.63 into 10. When we multiply a decimal number by 10, then what we do is simply shift the decimal point to the right by one place. Why? Because it is being multiplied by 10. Look here. This is 263 into 10. When you multiply by 10, what you do? You write the number as it is and then put a 0 in the end. Okay, so 2630 is my number. Right? Then how many decimal places are here? Two decimal places. So you leave two decimal places and insert a decimal point. So this is 26.30. Without multiplying, we have got this answer as 26.30. How? By shifting the decimal point to the right by one place. Okay, the number of zeros, as many zeros we have in the multiplier, that many places, decimal places, we shift towards the left when we multiply. Clear? When we multiply a decimal number by 10, 10 has one zero, so we will shift the decimal point to one place towards the right. Okay, and gives the answer. Similar way, when you are multiplying a decimal number by 100, 100 has how many zeros? Two zeros. So this decimal point you will shift to two places to the right. And your answer will be 4786. See, 47.86 into 100 is 4786. Now look at this. 356.7 into 100. Okay, so This 100 has two zeros, but I have one place after the decimal point, isn't it? To make it two places, we write a 0 in the end. You were taught earlier that when you write 0 in the end of a decimal number, then the value does not change, isn't it? So 356.7 is equal to 356.70 is equal to 356.700. If I write 356.7 is equal to 356.700 is equal to 356.700. The value will not change. It is same. Okay. This 356.70 is equal to 356.7. 356.700 is equal to 356.7. Okay. So now come to the point. Here we have two zeros in the multiplier. It is being multiplied by 100. So, but we do not have two decimal places in the multiplicand. So, what you do to make it two decimal place, you write a 0 over here in the end. Then shift the decimal place to two places towards the right. Then my answer is 35670. Understood? Then the next one is 89.245 into 1000. When you multiply by 1000, 1000 has how many zeros? It has 3 zeros. Isn't it? So when you multiply a decimal number by 1000, you shift the decimal point to the right by 3 places. Because there are 3 zeros, you will shift the decimal point to 3 places. 1, 2 and 3. And my answer is 89245. Decimal point shifted to 3 places to the right, because there are 3 zeros in the multiplier. Okay. Then 48.25 into 1000. Okay. I have two decimal places, 1, 2. Then what do I do next is, to make it 3 decimal place, I put a 0. Isn't it? So this decimal point now comes over here. When I put a 0, the decimal point will come up over here. Then this will become 48250. Clear? 713.6 into 1000. 3 zeros but 1 decimal place. Then I have to make how many decimal places? I have to make 3 decimal places. 0, 0. Now 1, 2, 3. 3 decimal places and 3 zeros. Then shift the decimal place to 3 places to the right. Then your answer is 713600. Understood? I am repeating again. To multiply by 10, when you multiply a decimal number by 10, 10 has 1 0. So you shift the decimal point to one place towards the right. When you multiply by 100, 100 has 2 0. So you shift the decimal point to two places towards the right, because there are two zeros in the multiplier. And when you multiply by 1000, then you shift the decimal place to 3 places to get the answer. Clear? Now, multiplication of a decimal by a decimal. 2.06 into 0.5. First thing you will do is, without the decimal point, you will write the numbers and do simple multiplication. See, 2.06, it is written 206, 0.5 written 5. Then simple multiplication you will do. Then the first thing you will do is count the total number of decimal places in the multiplicand and the multiplier. Here how many decimal places? 2 decimal places are there. Here how many? 1. So 2 plus 1 is equal to 3 decimal places are there in total. First rule is what? Count the total number of decimal places in the multiplicand and the multiplier. Multiplicand has 2 decimal place. Multiplier has 1 decimal place. So total number of decimal places is 3. Since total number of decimal places is 3, what you will do is, in the product, you will insert a decimal point equal to the number of decimal places in multiplicand and multiplier. Okay, equal number of decimal places in multiplicand and multiplier. Here I have 3. So I will keep 3 decimal place and insert a decimal point. So 2.06 into 0.5 is equal to 1.030. 2 decimal place plus 1 decimal place. 2 plus 1 is equal to 3 decimal places, right? Here 3 decimal places. So we are leaving 3 decimal place. Moving towards the left, we give a decimal point, right? Moving towards the left, we give a decimal point. Then next question is 62.5 into 1.5. Removing the decimal point, you write the number and then do simple multiplication. Here I have multiplied by 15. You can also multiply in 2 steps. Okay, so my answer here is how much? 9375. Then here 1 decimal place is there, here 1 decimal place. So 62.5 into 1.5, 1 decimal place and 1 decimal place. 1 plus 1 is how much? 2 decimal places. So in the answer, in the product, you will keep 2 decimal places and insert a decimal point. See, 2 decimal places I have kept from and then inserted a decimal point. With the help of this, you can solve exercise 5E. I hope you all have understood the multiplication of decimals.